I'm so honored to be here with Ambassador Mosotho from the Kingdom of Lesotho. And I'll be honest with you, I had to look it up. I did Google it, and it's amazing, beautiful country.
It's not. I'm not surprised, and don't feel embarrassed. Yeah. Many Americans still don't know where Lesotho is, but I guess the trend has been changing of late because thanks to President Trump, if I may tell you the story, we are the country that received the highest tariff. We got 50%, and that all of a sudden created interest within the American populace to say, which country is this? Where is it? Yeah. Then they say, everyone is, a tiny country in Africa. Oh, okay. But yes, we may be tiny, but we are also mighty. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't seem fair to that 50% tariff on you all. I mean, you're landlocked inside South Africa.
Yeah.
So why? What was the logic behind that?
Of course, truth be told, if you apply basic arithmetic, the trade imbalance between Lesotho and the U.S. is massive. We export more thanks to AGOA. We export more to the U.S. than we import. But I think what's important is to look at the reasons for that imbalance, because for an economy as small as Lesotho, you can never expect to have a trade balance with a country, such a huge economy as the U.S. But we have been engaging with the U.S. government in discussions, and I think we are beginning to find each other.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So what does the future of Lesotho and America look like in the next 20 years?
The future looks bright. I can guarantee you that the future looks bright. There are lots of prospects. There's a lot that the two countries can achieve, it be economically, politically, or otherwise. Maybe you're not aware that the U.S. established their mission in Lesotho immediately after we gained independence in 1966, So the U.S. presence and footprint in Lesotho is that long-standing, And there are a lot of initiatives that we have worked on together, and we have benefited a lot from the U.S. And equally, I believe U.S. has benefited a lot from their friendship with Lesotho. So the prospects for the next 20 years or more look bright on my side.
Amazing. Now, the country, and I looked at the map, is completely encircled by South Africa.
Yeah.
So does that make the country a little nervous or anxious that,
Not at all. I always use the phrase that we are landlocked, but we are not opportunity locked. We have a very amazing relationship with our neighbors, South Africa, our only immediate neighbor. I think South Africa understands the challenges that come with being a neighbor of a small, completely landlocked neighbor, and to a large extent, they accommodate our needs and expectations, and I wouldn't feel anxious, or I wouldn't think that anything could happen to change the dynamic in the near future.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to ask you a tough question.
Yes.
But and you can pass if you want to.
Okay.
So recently the president of South Africa was in the White House with President Trump, and that was an uncomfortable meeting. There was some fireworks there. Do you have any thoughts on that, and what the path forward of South Africa and America should be?
Yeah, of course, I don't think I'm in the right position to answer that. I'm not a South African diplomat, but I think that's the nature of life. At times, you should expect, especially when you're in leadership role, that you get to those uncomfortable, if that's the right term to use, to those uncomfortable situations. But like I said, I'm not a South African diplomat, and I would refrain discussing any details or making any assumptions about the meeting and the relationship between South Africa and the US. All I can say is that these are important strategic partners to Lesotho, both of them, South Africa and the US. And we look forward to a healthy relationship between the two of them. Yeah.
I want to take a minute and take a broader view, back up a little bit, and look at the continent of Africa as a whole. In my opinion, I think it's the continent of the future. I mean, it's just so much to do, so much amazing things. I mean, it's a birthplace of humanity, and I think it's the future of humanity.
Absolutely.
But there's obviously problems and roadblocks. There's still a lot of exploitation from past colonial powers still in play. How do you see the next, the rest of the century getting past those problems and building a sort of a peaceful, united Africa?
Like you said, the future is in Africa. We have the youngest population in the world. I believe we are on the right track as a continent, to achieve our long-standing aspirations. I'll take, for example, the AfCFTA, the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. With that, I strongly believe that the true potential of Africa stands to be realized. When we start trading within the continent,
right.
When we start breaking those barriers, that makes it difficult for me now to export from Lesotho to Nigeria or to fly directly from Lesotho to Morocco, Once we break those barriers, which I believe is the intention of the African Continental Free Trade, I believe we are going to see immense potential of Africa being realized. Because once you get to that level, I would compare Africa as a whole, as a market, with the U.S., the federal U.S. with 50 states, which are one market basically, 300 million plus population. And that's what you get in Africa,
I mean, but Africa would be like 3 times bigger.
It will be 3 times bigger now, Yeah. So I think there's the potential is there. And I believe African leaders are doing all possible to unlock that potential.
So is there talks about a trade within Africa, in its own, like a EU style, an African currency?
Yeah, that's the whole idea of the AfCFTA. We are basically it's creating one market.
Okay.
One market, seamless market. Remove artificial barriers.
Yes.
I'll call them that. Artificial barriers that have existed for time immemorial. That have been a hindrance to Africa's development.
And that would be, is there talks about that African currency being a blockchain cryptocurrency uniting the continent?
If you ask me personally, I would subscribe to that, but I think the politics of it is too early to tell, if Africa would eventually have a digital currency. But personally, I would subscribe to that. I think it would unlock many opportunities for the continent.
Yeah. I'm sure you're following what India did, what Modi did last 10 years with the UPI, Universal Payment Interface. And it's really amazing. And almost all the transactions now in India are done digitally.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's not blockchain based, but nevertheless, it's still a secure payment transaction platform. And so much so that Visa and MasterCard were upset, and they actually tried to pass legislation in the U.S. to sanction India.
Yeah.
Because of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So so obviously when you do something that is against entrenched interests.
Yeah.
Right. And effectively, an Africa free trade system and an African currency is essentially de-dollarization.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's going to be a lot of resistance and pushback and other things happening.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that, and how does Africa navigate through?
Look, there've already been disruptions in Africa in the fintech space. If you take mobile money has been a major disruption for your Visa, your MasterCard. Right. In Africa. Kenya has been a pioneer in that space, and even in countries like Lesotho now, the previously unbanked communities, that were looked down upon by your traditional banking system, they now have access to financial services. They can now participate in the economy through mobile money, So, like we were saying that earlier, that the opportunities are immense in Africa, And what's interesting is that with the young population, they are so innovative. Some of these products, come from the youth. They are the ones who come up with these innovations. Earlier today, I was in a meeting with some potential from investors from the US. They were telling me about their relationship with some youth company in back home in Lesotho, and what they were telling me, that what those kids are doing, it's mind blowing, So I think yes, the disruptions will be there. They may not come from the mainstream, and I think that's where the potential lies.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right. So to wrap it up, for the next 5 years, what are the top 3 initiatives for the country of Lesotho?
That's one is relevant to why I'm here. AI and cryptocurrency. As a country, this is a novel environment for us, and we are trying to learn, and we have realized that there's a strong potential with AI and blockchain and cryptocurrency, in that space. We have major natural resources, particularly diamonds and water, and we are trying to leverage these assets, in the digital world. In what way? We are thinking, okay, can we maybe tokenize some of these natural resources to unleash more value out of them, right? Secondly, we are one country that produces 100% clean energy. We rely on hydropower and solar. So with the industry now, especially in the crypto mining, being sensitive and cautious of environmental concerns, we are looking to be a regional hub for crypto mining, leveraging on our green energy, Then, like I told you, we have a very youthful population, about 60% of our working population is youth, who are very innovative, and we want to see how we channel them and to realize their potential in the AI, crypto, blockchain space, because we believe that that's where the future is going. You know, Africa, we can no longer rely on just our natural resources in that pure form. You know, we can no longer rely on diamonds on their pure form. But if we are not talking about, okay, we can take a digital asset out of these diamonds. You can tokenize them. Well, why not explore that opportunity? So that's the direction we are trying to take. You know, and again, with the US where I'm based, you know, some people took offense from the America First agenda, you know, but I think we understand it differently as a country. So from that we see a lot of opportunities that maybe for the past so many years we didn't realize from our relationship with the US, you know. So with the current agenda, the current administration's agenda, we believe we can unlock a lot of potentials there. Yeah.
Amazing. And last question, how do you feel personally about living in Lesotho? And what's your message to Americans who've never heard, you know, like me? I mean, like I said, I didn't know where the country was.
Yeah, yes.
Right. So what's your message to Americans that, hey, come and visit Lesotho? What will they come and find?
Firstly, what's important for Americans is that to go to Lesotho, you don't need a visa. If you are an American citizen, you don't need a visa. It's a stable country, stable economy. It's a democracy. Small in size, but mighty, like I said, in potential, in scenery. You know, we have the highest, lowest point in the world.
Wow.
Our lowest point is 1,000 meters above sea level. You know, one of the greatest mountains in Africa or even in the world are found in Lesotho. One of the greatest rivers, some of the greatest rivers in the region find their sources in Lesotho. So for a rugged original experience, Lesotho is the place to be. It's winter now in Lesotho. Many people don't know that you can ski in Africa. So if you want skiing, go to Lesotho now in June, July, and you'll experience amazing skiing.
Wow, I didn't know that.
That's why some call us the Switzerland of Africa.
Uh-huh.
If you see Switzerland, the terrain, the scenery, that's the experience you'll get in Lesotho. But ours is more rugged.
It sounds to me more like the Monaco of Africa.
Absolutely. Oh yes, it is. It is.
Amazing.
It is. It's a beautiful place to visit for leisure. It's a beautiful place to visit for business opportunity.
I'm definitely going to put it on my list.
Pardon?
I'm going to definitely put Lesotho on my list.
Please.
I have to visit now.
Please, I'll keep reminding you. I'll keep reminding you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.